Alright. So, fucking Lazarus Effect. I saw this movie. This review's about a week overdue. Didn't get around to doing it, but I'm doing it today, motherfuckers. I enjoyed this movie, I have to say. I wasn't really expecting a lot. But this movie made me think. It also, it's kind of like a discussion for other things in life, and we'll get into that in a moment. So Lazarus Effect pretty much is this: it's a scientist's wife dies, and they bring her back to life, and that's what they're expecting with they're experimenting with the Lazarus Effect. They're experimenting with bringing things back to life. They try to bring a pig back to life. They're unsuccessful. They try to bring her back to life, and it succeeds. And this is a creepy fucking movie. It truly is, and it really looks at things like everybody always hopes and prays that somebody could come back to life. And they've like touched on this in a number of things, even in fucking anime. I couldn't help it when I was with my friends bring up Full Metal Alchemist. I mean, like, look what happened when they tried to fucking bring their mother back to life. Look what happened there. You know what I mean? It was kind of like the same thing almost. And it kind of dealt with the same issue. No, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not, trying to be super fucking nerding out over here, trying to compare shit to anime and shit like that. No, that's not what I'm trying to fucking do at all. I'm trying to make a good comparison here, and it is a good comparison because that's the fact of the matter is. It's like that's what Full Metal Alchemist tried to fucking show. Is like sometimes leaving the dead alone. When you start messing with souls and going into the other side of shit, things get messy. I think we've seen that. With The Exorcist and all that. We've seen that, going to the other side, messing with fucking demons and shit. We've seen this Paranormal Activity. We've seen it in a bunch of other fucking movies. And it is like a really fucked up movie in some respects. They bring her back, and she's like caught in a weird place between almost like in a purgatory. The Lazarus Effect brings about. She's like stuck in hell. And spoiler alert ahead, it's very hard for me to review this without spoilers, but she's done something really bad in her past. If you don't know what it is, I'm pausing here so you can turn off the video. But anyway, she burned her fucking building down. Her fucking, apartment building. She burns that fucking shit down. And this shit's been haunting her for fucking forever. And, she's going to hell for it, but they're bringing her back. And, she's, she just starts fucking killing people because why? Well, I guess, it's not really said exactly why she becomes this murderous machine, but she's like soulless is what it is. She's been, I guess her soul has been taken to hell, but, her body is still here. I mean, it leaves a lot to the imagination, but not to the point where it's ridiculous. I hate those fucking movies where they end it and they're like, oh, well, we're leaving it up to your imagination. No, bullshit. You haven't come up with a good fucking ending to this movie or good enough story for this movie. But this time around, I'll have to say that the parts that they do leave up to your imagination, I could definitely see it. And this movie is violent. And the fact that, they're trying to solve this mystery about her and see what she's done in her past and leading up to it, and just the general premise of the movie. Excuse me. Just the general premise of the movie is very appealing to me, and I think it was pretty well executed. Could have they delved deeper into this concept a bit? Of exactly of like what kind of person she is, and why she burnt down the building. That would have been good too. That's what I'm saying. There's definitely, and this is I always say is almost about every horror movie. There is shit that you could always pick out with these horror movies, because a lot of times horror movies are directed by, inexperienced directors. A lot of times, with these new entries into, I would guess, that people would love to turn them into franchises. So, aspiring franchises, that was the term I was looking for. Everybody wants to have their Friday the 13th or Paranormal Activity series, something that they can keep going with, making a franchise out of it. And you can definitely see at the end of this movie that Lee's hoping for a sequel. Will they explain about it? I don't know. I really don't know even if they're going for a sequel. It leaves, room for a sequel, but are they going to do it? That remains to be seen. But pretty much, I have to say that, they could have explored a bit deeper into her psyche. Because I kind of really wanted to know, like, what goes through a little girl's head when she's a little girl. Why the fuck would she want to burn down her apartment? I mean, who are her parents? And also, they keep showing that there was a family trapped behind the door and they couldn't get out. Who was that family? And the way how she's staring at the door at that family, it's almost like she burned down the whole building to specifically get at them. I don't know if she was like looking at them because they were trapped and she was, gleeful in the moment or feeling vengeful at that time. Or, I don't know what it was, or it was specifically just them. Come on, director, there's room for fucking answers here. We would like to get some fucking answers here, but we didn't get any fucking answers. And it would have been nice to have those. But the fact that they explored, this little purgatory, hell bringing her back, but still her, mind is in hell, but her body's here on earth, and just things like that, they're very appealing to me. In a world where we search for the meaning of life, and we search for answers about heaven and hell, and, we try to rely on the Bible for certain answers, but then, we want to try to bring science into it, and then, our logical minds believe science, but there's still a part of us that doesn't want to completely write off the concepts of heaven and hell, and moral compass, and shit like that, and all that good stuff. A movie like this comes along, and, well, it at least brings it about. Certain directors are scared to touch on it, but I think that this was one of the first genuine efforts to really touch on that concept that makes a lot of people uncomfortable, and I think for the most part, succeeded to some point. I think that they fucking succeeded at some rate there. So yeah, I think that this movie gets a definite recommendation. People might have some problems with it. If you're not a horror fan, but you're interested in this type of psychological, discussion here, you might enjoy it, but then again, you might find that there are some cliche horror elements abound, but, then again, what horror movie doesn't have them? So, all these things that you could complain about are not really that horrible. If I were to rate this movie from 1 to 10, I'd probably give it about a 7, 7.5. Very enjoyable movie. I enjoy the concepts that they try to, unearth here and there and try to get certain answers and get your mind thinking. I like that. The movie got you thinking to a point, and I really appreciated that. So, on those merits alone, I'll say that it's a recommendation. Some people might not like it, but then again, that that's what it is. They might not like the fact that it just raises a lot of questions but doesn't really answer them. So you could argue that, but yeah, I think you should go see it.